lineup changes. Brandon Rattray playing for the Las Vegas Ramblers, a former UCLA Bruin. Had a very strong first weekend back several weeks ago in the first event of the year. Look for him to carry a large offensive load and passing responsibilities. Ryan Manoujian, the libero for the Ramblers, a former Long Beach State player as well. New face on the floor here, number 15. That's Jordan Hoppy, the outside hitter. And also Antoine Aguilar, as we said, a middle blocker for the Ramblers. And here we go. First set action ready to get going. Here's Romero. Unovo Romero, the Cuban for the Utah Stingers, back at the inline with his jump serve to start this match off. Passed up by Hoppy. Here comes Maxwell out to Rattray to begin with. Blocked up by Shmelev, but that goes out of bounds. So expect to hear that combo quite a bit today. Tanner Maxwell to Brandon Rattray for the Ramblers if they plan on having success in this match. That's going to be a common combo there. Here's Tanner Maxwell with his jump float serve. Passed up by Romero, pretty tight. Rattray goes with the overpass kill. Rattray with back-to-back points for the Ramblers. 2 serving 0. Tanner Maxwell, Grand Canyon University alumni with his jump float serve. Passed up by Kai. Here's Mencia from the back row. Batted around, but finds its way to the floor as Aguilar couldn't block that ball back. So a couple of new faces on the floor here for each team. And here's Alex Shmelev with his standing jump float serve. Standing jump float serve goes out of bounds long. It's a technique rarely seen, the standing jump float serve. Still early. I'm on West Coast time. It's pretty early over there still in California. But now here we have Brandon Rattray getting ready to serve. High toss, step close, jump serve. Through the seam of the Stingers for a clean ace between Romero and Storm Fuga. Clean ace between those two seams. So Rattray off to a great start here. 3 points, 2 kills, and an ace. Rattray again. That one goes out of bounds long. Give the side out over to the Stingers on the service error from Brandon Rattray. Once again, UCLA Bruin alumni. Played his last professional season over in Spain as we see Leo Durkin, now number 4 in green, the setter for Utah Stingers, preparing for his service attempt. Jump float comes across, and that ball sails out of bounds long through the inline. Side out and point go to the Ramblers. You see Sean Dennis, 6'11", second tallest player in the National Volleyball Association, come into the front row for the Ramblers. Excited to see what he can bring to their block and defense. Aguilar passed up by Kai. There's a right side attack by Storm, and he goes cross court for the kill. Good, strong cross court attack. Storm Fa'agata to Fuga. His jump serve changes it up to a little hybrid. Out of system pass. Here comes Mather. He finds the floor on a great set from Hoppy. A backwards running bump set goes all the way across the court. And 6'8" Ryan Mather is able to slap that ball down almost as an open-handed tip throwdown for the point. So a nice out-of-system play that results, fortunately, for the Ramblers, now up 6, serving 3. Mather's jump serve. That finds the net. Make sure those guys in the front row put their helmets on, as that could hurt. Hit somebody in the back of the head. So Mather's first serve finds the net. Traditionally one of the stronger servers for the Ramblers, as he was an all-tournament opposite hitter from our event back in Utah last November. And number 17, Corey Metcalf. Jump float, pass by Manoujian. Comes Hoppy with a little throw down the line, and we have a net violation on the Stingers. I believe that was Jorge Mencia finding the net. Give the point over to the Ramblers now. 3-point lead here. And Jordan Hoppy, 6'5", outside hitter. Concordia University in Irvine, California. Jump serves it over. Here goes Durkin. Goes right side to Mencia again. That's dug by Mather, but now we have a Rambler net violation as Brandon Rattray found his way into the net. Negate that dig by Mather and give the point over to the Stingers. Jorge Mencia now prepares. Outside hitter opposite we've seen out of Puerto Rico. This is jump serve. And that ball finds the net. So some early service error action as we find our way now to the first technical timeout. Ramblers up currently 8, serving 5 in early action. Set number 1 of today's second match of our 5-match schedule here at Harrah's Casino and Resort in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Both teams looking to be somewhat sleepy still. Depending on what time zones they've come in from. I believe all the teams doing their traveling yesterday, cross country or covering most of the country, and probably trying to stay up a little bit late and play some craps or some baccarat or some blackjack maybe in the casino around here. But this is a 3-day event. We've got 15 total matches going on this weekend here on the National Volleyball Association's stadium court here in Harrah's Atlantic City Resort. So this is going to be early action still as our technical timeout comes to a close. Players getting ready. Come back onto the court here. Las Vegas Ramblers wearing the gold and black jerseys this morning. They're going to be on the left side of your screen. Utah Stingers going green and gold, yellow, green and yellow. They're on the right side of your screen there. You see they're the defending 2020 Salt Lake City Invitational champions. A couple of faces that are not with the squad this weekend, Rusty Levaya and Jake Langlois. But, a little adversity here for the Stingers to find some new personnel and get them involved as well. So here's Sean Dennis now with his first service attempt, 6'11", former anteater. Little jump float, little spin, and he gets a clean ace that finds the back of the inline. 6'11", not a bad first service attempt for your NVA debut, Mr. Dennis. 6'11". That serve comes at a different angle sometimes when you're hitting the ball so high. And comes across, a little more spin, pass by Storm. Here's Romero on the left, and he goes hard cross-court for the kill. Inside the block of Aguilar. Cross-court winner as Rattray couldn't dig it back up. Novo Romero. Utah Stingers are going to be relying heavily on Romero's right shoulder and his legs to provide lots of point-scoring opportunities throughout this weekend and carry a large load at the outside hitter position. Here's his jump serve. Messed up out of system. Here comes Rattray. Little high ball offense, and he goes inside Shmelev's block cross-court for a kill. So Rattray continuing to be perfect offensively. His third kill on 3 swings. Now Tanner Maxwell. Jump float serve. Goes cross. Kai gets caught up high with the handset that doesn't quite make it, so that's back-to-back aces for the Ramblers. Tanner Maxwell continuing to build on this early lead for the Ramblers. Jump float, pass by Romero. Storm on the left side, and that's Mather giving it a nice stuff down. Well-formed block by Ryan Mather and Antoine Aguilar there. 2 6'8" blockers. Ryan Mather getting the majority of that block. Shutting Storm, Fa'agata, Tufuga down on the left side. Maxwell continues to serve. Pass by Kai to Quem. Quick attack by Shmelev. He gets a quick kill by the Stingers. Leo Durkin getting his middles involved. Nice to see that. Alex Shmelev gets his number called for the first time and gets a kill. Now down by 5. 7 serving 12. Passed up by Hobby. Here's Mather on the left. A little roll shot, and that one finds the floor. So good little change of pace from Ryan Mather. Not maybe the quite in-system tempo set that he was expecting on the left side, but a nice beach high roll shot with some good pace for the kill. Kind of back to area 1-6. And here's Rattray's jump serve now. Strong, and a third ace. Wow. Rattray's second ace of the match so far. I believe that's the 4th ace for the Ramblers so far in this early set 1 action, and we get a timeout called by the Stingers. So you're seeing some great service action from the Ramblers so far. Really helping them double up over the Stingers right now with a 7-point lead as Rattray goes and finds some hydration over there as the Stingers coach employing their team to talk about the seams. They really have to have a good understanding of who's going to pass what ball on what seam, right seam, left seam, what to expect from the jump servers, the jump float serves. There's been quite a few aces already. Obviously, aces don't allow your team to really create any kind of offensive mojo or momentum, and right now the Ramblers are just in control of this game. Once again, up by 7 as the Stingers trying to figure out what they want to do offensively speaking. But first and foremost, they've got to pass the ball up to the net if they want to have any kind of chance of running an offense. But when the pass has been there, you've seen Durkin be able to get his middles involved as well. So let's see what happens here. Rattray prepares for another jump serve out of the timeout. And that ball just barely out of bounds long. So Brandon Rattray really feeling his jump serving already. He has the green light to be as aggressive as he wants every single time. And now we have the Stingers 8 serving 14 as Leo Durkin goes back to jump float serve down the line. And that ball goes out of bounds. So Stingers continuing to struggle from the inline with their service game, while the Ramblers continuing to apply pressure on the Stingers with their service game. Here's Antoine Aguilar, former middle blocker from Long Beach State, played several seasons overseas. There's a quick attack there, and that ball goes out of bounds. No touches indicated as Corey Metcalf makes a hitting error. And that brings us to our second technical timeout. We're taking technical timeouts as soon as one team reaches 8 points and also 16 points using the FIVB technical timeout system. Both teams strategizing here, trying to figure out that winning combination of what adjustments need to be made. We're playing 3 out of 5 sets, each game to 25. 5th game to 15 points if necessary. Once again, this is set number 1 of Friday morning's second match, our 3-day event here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Thank you again for being here. Just a quick shout out to our favorite volleyball sponsor here, Mikasa, proud volleyball provider and sponsor of the National Volleyball Association. Thank you, Mikasa, for your continued support of the NVA. Quick antenna adjustment there by the lines judge, making sure everything is 90 degrees perpendicular and in the appropriate place. Just waiting for the final green light for our teams to come back into the arena here. Stadium Court, Harrah's Atlantic City Casino and Resort Hotel. Be here through Sunday evening of Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see Antoine Aguilar with his jump float serve. And that ball gets caught on Kai Duquem again and goes out of bounds. So give another ace to the Las Vegas Ramblers. I believe that's ace number 6 so far in the match, all in set number 1. Now 17 serving 8. Aguilar goes short jump float. That one goes out of bounds wide. Give a side out over to the Stingers as Storm gets prepared to serve for the boys from Utah. Jump serve, strong, passed up by Rattray. There's Mather on the right side. That ball gets stuffed down but covered. Hold on a minute, what happened? A lift is called. Interesting lift, but I don't know if it was, not too sure who the lift was called on, but lift nonetheless, and a point will go over to the Stingers. Perhaps a little bit of a reactionary call there by the head referee, but here's Storm Fa'agata Tufuga once again with his jump serve. Spun up, pass by Manoujian. Maxwell has to one-hand it over, and that ball can't make it over the net, so another point to the Stingers. So good response here by the Stingers. 2 quick points after that initial side out. Storm continues his service run here. Manoujian past the 10-foot line. Maxwell goes to Mather. Tight set once again. Block back. Here's Hoppy on the left. That ball goes out of bounds. No touches indicated. Ramblers seem to be pretty confused as how that ball could possibly have gone out of bounds without a touch. But nonetheless, a point goes over to the Stingers now. 12 serving 17. Storm Fa'agata Tufuga. Manoujian. Dennis with his first attempt, dug up by Kai DeQuem. Romero, he gets blocked back by Mather. Comes Durkin again to Romero, tight set, covered up by Maxwell. Romero sets, here comes Mather. High swing and goes cross court for the kill. Ryan Mather in transition, cleaning it up as the 6'8" opposite out of Redondo Beach, California, played his high school ball at Redondo Union High School. Coach Duncan Avery, and also his college volleyball at the Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona. So here's Ryan Mather's jump serve. Roll shot, the toss wasn't the best. Durkin chooses to go to Metcalf, covered up. There's Romero, has to chip it over, dug up by Rattray. Outside attack to Hoppy, dug up by Kai DeQuem. Whoa, free ball off the roof, passed over. And Mather on the back row attack, it's dug. Nice dig by Kai DeQuem. Sean Dennis goes quick in transition. That one goes off the top of the net and finds its way out of bounds. And it's the Stingers manufacture a nice point right there with a good defensive rallies. Heads-up play as that ball went off the roof. We have a substitution here. We have Paul Clark, number 1 for the Utah Stingers, coming in to serve. Looked like for Corey Metcalf. Paul Clark, the 5'10" backup libero out of Gilbert, Arizona. Here comes his jump serve. Passed up by Manoujian. Left side attack by Hoppy. He gets a point down the 5, finds area 6 for the kill. Justin Hoppy, one of the newest players with the Ramblers, was not part of the team in our first event of the year. He's really come in and made Jordan Hoppy out of Concordia University. Made a great impact so far early on in this first match for the Las Vegas Ramblers. Here he is with his jump serve. Romero, out of system pass. Durkin chooses Mencia, and Mencia uses a little Puerto Rican push there and finds his kill attempt, finding the floor between the block of Dennis and Rattray. So Jorge Mencia, reaching into his little bag of tricks, is able to get that open hand tip down for the point. Jorge Mencia now with his jump serve. Passed up by Hoppy. Here comes Rattray out of system to Mather on the D. Controlled and dug by Mencia. Durkin goes to the back row. Big for Storm. Come flying out of the back row for a kill. Storm Fa'agata Tufuga flying out of the back row for that big attack in transition. Well played and well timed. You see that connection with Leo Durkin that they've been playing together for quite some time as Mencia now jump serves, and his service attempt finds the net, effectively ending that rally as the Ramblers now find themselves the first team to 20. Sean Dennis, 6'11", middle blocker out of UC Irvine, played his college volleyball for David Niffen. His first weekend here with the Las Vegas Ramblers in his NVA debut. Hybrid jump spin serve. Big attack by Storm, once again picked up by Maxwell. Here comes Rattray in transition. Roll shot. Mencia pancakes it. Here comes a free ball from Kai. Aguilar, underhand pass. Quick left side attack. Rattray covers himself after getting blocked by Leo Durkin, but give Durkin the solo block point against Brandon Rattray. Nice block by Leo Durkin, a good blocking setter. He's 6'4", played his college volleyball at BYU up there in Provo. I'm sure you've heard of that school. Very strong volleyball traditions there. Leo Durkin doing a great job blocking against the former Bruin. As Romero jump serves over to Mnuchin. Tanner Maxwell dumps on 2, and he scores the point as Storm was almost there in time, but just a touch late to block that dump attempt. As Tanner Maxwell becomes offensively involved with his team, scoring their 21st point as he goes back and prepares to serve. Maxwell cross court to Romero. Storm goes cross court, dug by Mnuchin. Here's Rattray, high hands, and that ball goes out of bounds. Great, well attacked, high line of attack by Brandon Rattray. You see him employ that technique quite often while he's playing overseas in Europe. Probably learned that at the Wooden Center or Pauley Pavilion working with UCLA Bruins where he played his college volleyball. It was passed up by Kai Duquem. Tipped over. Maxwell runs under but can't contain it as that one-handed scoop goes out of bounds wide. Give the point over to the Stingers, who have struggled a little bit to create some kind of offensive consistency, although the service game from the Ramblers has really put the pressure on the Stingers from the very first serve of the match. As now we see Alex Shmelev, 6'6" middle blocker out of Russia with his jump float serve, passed by Mnuchin. Here's Aguilar, dug up by Shmelev. And Mencia comes out of the back row for a cross-court winner. Jorge Mencia. Back row transition attack off of 1 foot, gets the kill. Shmelev now back to the inline once again. Preparing for his second consecutive jump float serve. This one's passed up by Rattray. Maxwell goes back to Rattray again. Cross court, rattled around. Shmelev plays it. Here comes Romero out of the back row. That ball goes out of bounds, long. A little bit of an out-of-system hitting attack attempt by Romero as his chop goes out of bounds long. (23) serving 18. Business into this first set. Brandon Rattray now serving for the Ramblers. Hard jump serve. That ball goes out of bounds long. So the early jump serve success has started to wane a little bit here for the Ramblers as we've gotten throughout this first set. Stingers now find themselves down by 4, trying to manufacture a few points here to see what kind of momentum they can create or possibly turn this into a deuce game, as there's 1 point scored by the Stingers off of Leo Durkin's serve, and Tanner Maxwell's not able to return it back over the net. Leo Durkin once again with the jump float, passed by Mnuchin. Maxwell goes to Aguilar. He gets a kill. Quick attack by Antoine Aguilar, coming right to left across the middle of the court, getting sort of that push quick attack. And now the Ramblers find themselves at set point number 1. As Aguilar goes back to serve. His jump float comes across, passed up by Romero. Here comes Storm with a little tip, blocked by Hoppy. Mencia out of system, throws it over, dug up by Maxwell. Someone's got a set, and no one's there as Little Barrett was not on the court, who would usually take over that setting responsibility, and Mather didn't make it in time. Perhaps Sean Dennis should have set that as the middle blocker, but that detail was not discussed prior to that play, unfortunately. So here's Storm Fagata Tufuga with his jump serve. Set point number 2, passed by Rattray. Mather a little bit tight by Maxwell. And Romero says thank you very much as that ball broke the plane and he was able to slap it down for a point. So Tanner Maxwell's setting location overhead to Ryan Mather has been a little bit on the tight side throughout this match so far. So hopefully they can get that ironed out as they're pretty familiar playing partners and on the same team for quite some time here as the Las Vegas Ramblers call their second timeout here to possibly get a little iced action going on Leo Durkin's jump float serve when we come back from that timeout. So once again, thank you very much for joining us this morning, Atlantic City, New Jersey. This is the National Volleyball Association, day number 1 of our second event of 2021, second out of 4 events. Hopefully you saw our first match of the day, a nice 4-match win taken by the Chicago Untouchables over the Dallas Tornadoes. And here we have the Las Vegas Ramblers playing against Utah Stingers. We've got 5 matches today, 2 o'clock, 4:30 p.m., and then also 7 p.m. All those times are local here, Eastern Standard Time. So we've got some great high-level professional volleyball on tap for you guys the rest of the day. As we get back to action here now, Storm Tafuga Fagata with his jump serve at set point. That ball goes out of bounds, and the Ramblers timeout scores the point for that team as game number 1 goes to the Ramblers, 25-22. For those of you who have been watching us during our COVID protocols, our teams have been staying on their specific sides of the court. Well, here in New Jersey, we're going to be changing sides throughout the day and level the playing field out a little bit as teams go back and forth. So really interesting start to this match here. You see the Ramblers really come out strong against the fellow undefeated team from Utah, the Stingers. So both teams 3-0, undefeated, both teams current standings for this match. Ramblers looking to be the only team in the NVA to be 4-0 perhaps at the end of this match. But the Stingers got their backs up against the wall a little bit. They need to create some kind of momentum, some kind of fire or sense of urgency, really, offensively speaking. They really got caught with their heels on their backs. They got caught on their heels from the service pressure that the Ramblers were placing on them right out of the starting gates there for that first set, as we think we saw 5 or 6 service errors from the Ramblers go against the Utah Stingers. Other than that, offensively, Storm Fagata Tufuga carried a large offensive load with his quick big attacks out of the back row, which was really good. Inovo Romero, the left side attacker, had a bit of a lukewarm start here for the Utah Stingers, and look for him to be contributing more, especially from the inline, but also the left side attacking. Jorge Mencia, number 9 there in green, he has to get his engine going a little bit more as well. As you see Philip Fuchs trying to keep the mood light as he usually does. Leo Durkin leading his team. So Corey Metcalf, the other middle blocker. The Ramblers on the other side of the court, they're feeling good. They're loose. It's always nice to win the first set of the day, but this is a 3 out of 5 match. So these teams, they'll be battling for a little while. As you see Ryan Schickling over there, Antonio Boucher talking about strategies. Coach Nick England has turned in his lineup sheet. I wouldn't expect to see any personnel changes in terms of players on the court. But head coach for the Stingers there talking about roster changes, jersey numbers, strategies, setting up the video camera. Will be very interesting to see how the Stingers come out to start this second set. Will they have some kind of urgency in their actions? Will they be more aggressive from the inline? Will they be serving more aggressively? Will they be able to run their offense stronger as passing the ball? Will the Ramblers, be serving as hard as they will? I think they will. They're a very strong serving team between the jump serves, behind the jump serves of Brandon Rattray, Ryan Mather, their 2 biggest jump servers, and then a kind of combination jump float servers from the rest of the players. Tanner Maxwell, the setter with his jump float. Sean Dennis, his first serve of the year. Clean ace between the seams. 6'11" middle blocker with a little bit of a jump hybrid. So it'll be very interesting to see how the Ramblers continue to apply pressure from the inline. And the blocking of the Stingers has been strong. You've seen good blocking from Storm and Romero. You get Shmelev and Maxwell and Metcalf in there getting some blocks on some quick attacks or cross-court attacks from the Ramblers. Brandon Rattray, once again, perfect offensively, hitting 1,000 through that first set and chipping in 2 clean aces. So I believe 6 or 7 points for Brandon Rattray throughout first set. Ryan Manoujian, number 99 in black there, the libero for the Ramblers, taking control of the serve reception game. Ryan Mather, number 14 there. Sean Dennis, 6'11". So you've got a 6'6", 6'8", 6'11" front row for the Ramblers. That's going to cause some serious issues for anyone that's trying to hit against them. And here we are back to action now as Maxwell goes with his jump float serve. Pass by Romero. Mencia on the left. Tries to go high hands, and that ball goes out of bounds long. Once again, Jorge Mencia, traditionally a little bit of a slow starter, not very strong attacks to start a match, but gets warmed up as the action continues. Romero passes once again. Here comes Storm on the right, controlled and dug by Maxwell. Rattray, his attack goes out of bounds long. No touches indicated, but a very good aggressive set. Tanner Maxwell just is in disbelief that how could you possibly hit that ball out of bounds? I don't know either, Tanner, but take it up with your player here. Yeah, Storm's jump serve for the Stingers. Oh, Storm. Fagata Tafuga gets a clean ace as it rattles around two Ramblers players. Now the Stingers creating a little pressure off the inline. And we're tied at 1 point apiece. Sean Dennis with a back one, controlled, covered up by Kai DeQuem. Maxwell goes back to Dennis, covered up by Romero. Here comes Mencia, he throws it over. Dennis bump sets to Mather, roll shot off the block, Durkin one-handed stab. DeQuem back sets. Romero with the kill from the left side in transition. As the Stingers now find themselves up by 2 points. Well played. Defense, transition, and attack lines by the Utah Stingers. Number 8, Storm Fagata Tafuga, 6 foot outside hitter out of Long Beach, California. With his jump serve, high toss, good spin, overpass from Manoujian, passed up by DeQuem. Backside attack to Mencia, stuffed down by Mather. Nice stuff down by Mather, gets his hands clean across the net, hard into Mencia's angle. Ryan Mather gets another big block, his second block of the match so far. 2 serving 3, early game 2 action here. Brandon Rattray with his jump serve, that ball gets overpassed. It's Manoujian. Mather, he goes right side, and he gets a return stuff down from Romero. The Cuban, 6'5", outside hitter, gives Ryan Mather his own stuff down flavoring and says, how about that one? Nice, well-formed block by Inovo Romero. Corey Metcalf now. Little jump float serve. That ball sails away and finds the floor out of bounds through the inline. So far, a couple blocks, a couple service aces, a couple service errors here. Game 2, Sean Dennis, 6'11", goes through his pre-serve routine. Hybrid jump float. Durkin goes out to Romero, rattled around, dug up by Hoppy. Rattray sets left side. Roll shot, chizzies down the line off of the right hand of the blocker, Jorge Mencia. As Jordan Hoppy gets a nice little left-handed swing slappy for the point. Sean Dennis now. Jump float serving once again. Two-handed toss off the tape. Pass by Romero. Out of system. Durkin goes to Mencia. Cross court. Pass by Maxwell off the roof. Mather bump sets. Hoppy roll shots. Comes Shmelev out of the quick. Catches Rattray's chin. Ball still alive. Shmelev again controlled and dug by Dennis. Maxwell chooses to go to Hoppy on the left. Slapped over, and Durkin can't olay that one with one hand, and that ball finds the floor for a point. As the Ramblers creating a little momentum fire. Rattray getting one off the chin. Dennis getting a dig. Hoppy slapping it down for a point. Sean Dennis now with his 3rd service attempt of the run. Now Romero, a little low. Here comes Romero from the left. That ball goes out of bounds wide, excuse me. So Sean Dennis on a tear right now with his service game. The 6'11" middle blocker, born in Laverne, California, played his college volleyball for the Anteaters, UC Irvine. Ramblers now up by 2. Pass by Romero. Here comes Mencia on the right. His attack line goes into the bottom of the net. Says, I need that set higher. And Mencia, hitting error. So Ramblers have come back and behind the service game of Sean Dennis. 4 or 5 point run, I believe, to this point right now. Sean Dennis once again. Hybrid, that ball goes wide. So clearly picking on Inovo Romero, trying to force him to his sideline as that ball just goes out of bounds wide. Nice service run by Sean Dennis. Ramblers currently up by 2 points as Jorge Mencia prepares for his jump serve. High toss, step close, good contact, pass by Rattray. Here's Mather, high, and that ball goes in cross court for the winner. Ryan Mather picks a nice high attack line as he gets his 3rd kill of this second set, and that brings us to our first technical timeout now. The Las Vegas Ramblers with a 3-point lead over the Utah Stingers, 8-5. Technical timeout number 1 here. In match number 2, National Volleyball Association's Atlantic City event. Second event of our 2021 season here. First event was in Los Angeles about 6 weeks ago. Obviously this weekend's event over Memorial Day weekend. Very exciting to be here. I thank Harrah's Casino and Resort for hosting our Professional Men's Indoor Volleyball League matches here all weekend, taking great care of us here. And we want to thank you for tuning in on YouTube and watching this broadcast wherever you may be around the globe. Glad to have you part of this exciting National Volleyball Association event number 2 of 2021. My name is Matt Prosser. I'm going to be here with you through the entirety of the weekend, along with a couple other special guests sharing the broadcasting duties with me. I thank our technical crew as well behind the scenes. We couldn't be doing any of this without you guys, so thank you for that. As our teams get back out onto the court for continued action here from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Las Vegas Rambler opposite hitter Ryan Mather, 6'8". Been playing several seasons of professional indoor volleyball overseas. That ball gets a little net kiss, and here comes Romero down the line, and he goes out of bounds wide as Inovo Romero continues to struggle a little bit on the left side. Ryan Mather put up a nice defensive stance, had his foot on the line, which knew that if it was to his right, that ball was going to be out of bounds. And here he comes now with his second service attempt. Cross court, passed up by Kai DeQuem. Here goes Mencia out of the back row. And he scores the point as that attack goes off the Rambler block and out of bounds. So give a point credit to Jorge Mencia out of Puerto Rico, the 6'6" opposite Turabo. Puerto Rico. Inovo Romero now preparing to serve. High toss, good step close, and that serve finds the bottom of the net once again for the Stingers. Romero perhaps should just focus on hitting the back of the court, roll shot in his first serve, and see if his team can score a point before he goes back and blasts another one. Point to the Ramblers nonetheless as Jordan Hoppy gets prepared to serve now. 10 serving 6. 6'5" outside hitter. High toss and his jump spin comes passed by Kai DeQuem. Shmelev out of the quick middle attack by the Stingers as Durkin throws it in from about 8 feet off the net. That connection still alive and well between Shmelev and Durkin. Like to see as much quick action out of the middles as possible by the Stingers and produce some points that way as now Shmelev jump float serves. A little help from the equipment, catches Rattray off guard, and that ball goes out of bounds, so gives Shmelev an ace off of the shanked pass from Brandon Rattray. Shmelev now once again. 6'6" middle blocker. Born in Russia, passed by Manuzhin. Dug up by Mencia. Durkin tries to go back dump, but Antoine says not on me. Slaps that one back. Point goes to the Ramblers now. Antoine Aguilar stalking back to his service location of choice. His jump float serve goes cross. He gets a little help from the equipment. Kai Duquem now jump sets over to Storm. Covered up. The ball ricochets off the rafters here and came down with a little bit of heat behind it and caught the Ramblers off guard. So here's Leo Durkin, 6'4" setter out of BYU. Rattray with a little roundhouse passed it by Manuzhin, but we have a net violation. Net violation on Sean Dennis of the Ramblers at some point in that rally. So Ramblers now find themselves up by 1. Leo Durkin continuing to serve. Jump float over to Rattray. Seems to be the target. There's Sean Dennis, the strong attack line, the 6'11" middle blocker. It'll be hard to stop a man of his size with a nice pass up to the net as Tanner Maxwell continues to establish that connection with Sean Dennis. This is his first match for the Gold and Black Las Vegas Ramblers. Tanner Maxwell with a little float serve. Out of system, free balls it over from Storm. Here comes Mather on the right side with a strong cross-court attack. Really attacking that cross-court seam, and Ryan Mather continuing to be strong offensively for the Ramblers from that right side of the court. Well played by Maxwell to get the Stingers in trouble, and here's his jump serve once again. Jump float, passed by Romero. Metcalf, his quick attack goes out of bounds wide. No touches indicated. The Stingers once again begging and pleading for a touch call, but they're not going to get it. Mencia has a couple of words for Ryan Mather and Sean Dennis over there. There's Tanner Maxwell now with the Ramblers up by 4. Passed up by Romero. Mencia goes high hands, and that's dug by Manuzhin. Left side by Rattray in transition. Dug up one-handed, but that ball goes out of bounds, is not returnable, so give the point credit to Brandon Rattray. And the Ramblers now find themselves up by 5 points once again. So establishing the momentum and creating a nice 5-point cushion as the Ramblers work their way through. And now we have a timeout called by the Utah Stingers. 1 point early, as we'll have a technical timeout once a team gets to 16 points. But coach of the Stingers decided that he needed to take a quick timeout and figure out some strategy here on what needs to be done. That's Mike Daniel. He's the head coach for the Utah Stingers. Preparing. Thank you for being with us here once again. Midway through the second set, we've gotten some good action here between the Las Vegas Ramblers and the Utah Stingers. Ramblers currently up by 5 points after winning set number 1, 25-22, based off my notes. Really taking advantage of some strong service games. We've seen some good equal action here in set number 2, but a little bit of back and forth, still some, maybe a few too many service errors. But we've seen some good connections out of the middle between Tanner Maxwell and Sean Dennis for the Ramblers. And also some good, strong attacking from Romero and Mencia of the Stingers. So now that both teams are back out onto the court, you see there the Utah Stingers in serve-receive. Leo Durkin with the play calling as Tanner Maxwell now, the setter for the Ramblers, comes back, serves his ball over to Romero. Here's Metcalf with a quick attack as Leo Durkin's able to throw that ball in from off the net. Leo Durkin really good at finding his middle attackers from off the net, making sure that those hitters are up and open and their windows are ready for that set that he throws into. So here's Storm. His strong jump serve finds the arms of Ryan Manuzhin and goes out of bounds, is unplayable. So give an ace credit to Storm Fa'agata Tafuga, the 6-foot outside hitter out of Long Beach, California. Strong jumper, good live arm. Really see him attacking well out of the back row, but he has a strong jump server with a back-to-back aces right now for Storm. Fa'agata Tafuga, that time off of Brandon Rattray and Ryan Manuzhin. So you see them talking about who's going to take what seems as now head coach of the Las Vegas Ramblers, Nick England, calling a timeout, trying to possibly ice Storm Fa'agata Tufuga. And that allows Mnuchin and Rattray to really figure out who's going to take what seams. You see Ryan Schickling there trying to give a little insight from the sidelines on what they're seeing. You know, this is a team sport, obviously, and so it helps to have, you know, input and insight from not just your coach, but also the guys that are watching from the sidelines. And as long as they're invested and aware of what's happening and what's going on, they can make some good comments and opinions on what they think they're seeing from the server and what they need to see from their teammates. And meanwhile, on the Stinger side there, you see Mencia and Durkin talking about that set location that they really need, and Kaidu Quem and the libero in yellow there talking about where he's going to be on defense. As Storm Fa'agata Tufuga now gets ready for his jump serve. Takes a little bit off, passed up by Mnuchin. And here's Rattray. He goes high hands, but it's controlled and run down. Here comes Romero on the left now, blocked up, played by Maxwell. Mnuchin sets over to Rattray in transition from the right with a strong attack line by Brandon Rattray. And that brings the Ramblers to the 16th point now. Stingers worked into that lead a little bit, but still a 3-point lead as we have come to our second technical timeout. 16 serving 13. Ramblers with a nice 3-man block that resulted in a good controlled and then a rundown from Tanner Maxwell. Good set in transition as Brandon Rattray was able to clean up that mess and swing cross court for the winner until the block and goes out of bounds and was unreturnable. So once again, our second technical timeout here of our second set action, match number 2. Utah Stingers finding themselves down by 3 and down 1-0 as the Ramblers came out and won the first set of this match, 25-22, currently with a 3-point lead as we work our way through the midway point of this second set, get closer to the business end of things here. Bit of a formality here as our teams anxiously await approval from our crack referee team to re-enter the playing arena. Okay, both teams are now back out on the court. Ramblers preparing to serve here as Brandon Rattray saunters back to the end line, cleans the bottom of his shoes, and goes through his pre-service routine. Nice high toss, strong step close, good strong service attempt and a clean ace as that ricochets off of Storm Fa'agata Tufuga's arms. And Brandon Rattray continues to lead the National Volleyball Association in the service aces category. I believe that's his 10th service ace of the season. Rattray again gets a little help from the equipment. Metcalf with the back one and is controlled. Here comes Rattray out of the back row in transition, and that, hold on a minute. Oh, I think we have a back row 3-meter line violation as Rattray came flying out of the back row. So take that point off the board and award it over to the Utah Stingers. Some clarification on who called it. The down ref, Tanner Maxwell, asking for some clarification, maybe also a headband. Nonetheless, Stingers make a quick substitution as Paul Clark now goes back to jump serve. Paul Clark's jump serve attempt here. Pass by Rattray. Maxwell goes quick to Sean Dennis with a nice kill for him, a wrist away. Middle attack by Sean Dennis as he comes across the court, right to left, and is able to get a nice set from Tanner Maxwell. Sean Dennis scores another point out of a quick attack. The middle for the Ramblers now 18 serving 14. Sean Dennis with his jump float spin hybrid. Pass by Kai Duquem. Here goes Durkin to Mencia, and that one finds the inside of the block and rattles around past Mather's defensive stance as Jorge Mencia. Haven't seen him hit line yet, so maybe the Ramblers block can adjust into the angle a little bit more. Perhaps take that away next time. Here's Jorge Mencia's jump serve. Down by 3. Pass by Rattray. Maxwell goes to Hoppy. He goes strong cross court through the seam of the block. He scores a point for the Ramblers. So nice attack line, exposing the cross court seam between Shmelev and Durkin's block attempt. Not able to get shoulder to shoulder and close that block angle down as Ryan Mather now preparing to serve for the Ramblers. And Mather blasts that one into the net. Service error for Ryan Mather, and a point goes to the Stingers. So here's Inoval Romero, Cuban outside hitter. His jump serve attempt. Passed by Rattray, slapped over by Aguilard. Here comes Storm with a little bit of a tip. Block back. Maxwell goes right side, back row. Mather in transition, and there's a huge block by Alex Shmelev. Some emotion coming out of Shmelev as well. Not usually what you see out of Alex Shmelev. He's quite the stoic middle blocker, but nice stuff down there on that right side attack. So the Ramblers now up by 2. Romero once again with his jump serve. Rattray passes again. Aguilard slaps it over and catches Mencia on his heels, expecting some serious heat. And Antoine with a little gentle just touch of the ball over the block for the point. So the Ramblers now first team to 20. Up by 3, here's Hoppy. So pass by Romero. Here comes Storm with his slap. That's controlled. Free balled over by Mather. Pass by Kai. Durkin. Dug up. Rattray in transition. Quite a few tips going on. Cameraman, get out of the way. Shmelev slaps it over. Wow. Nice heads-up play by Leo Durkin. Avoiding the near catastrophe of running into our astute cameraman. And now Alex Shmelev back serving with a 2-point deficit here as the Stingers trying to fight their way back. Rattray hard cross court. Leo Durkin kind of looks around and is like, how am I supposed to stop that guy? Uh, 21 serving 18 now. Antoine Aguilard, number 11 in gold. Jump float serve, pass by Kai Duquem. Here's Metcalf. His attack goes out of bounds wide. So that connection continues to struggle a little bit. Corey Metcalf, a 6'5" outside hitter from Draper, Utah, struggling to find the court on his offensive attacks. And now the Utah Stingers take a timeout called by Coach Daniel. They want to get a little quick chit-chat. Quick player update here. I sincerely apologize to anyone that has been watching. I've been calling number 15 for the Ramblers, Jordan Hoppe. His name is actually Kevin Lopez. So I'm very sorry for that mix-up, but Kevin Lopez has been playing now for the Ramblers, number 15 in gold. All right, here we go now. 22 serving 18. Antoine Aguilar once again with his jump float serve. Pass by Kai. It was Storm. The cross-court attack attempt goes out of bounds wide as the Stingers continue to struggle to find real estate inside the court here, as the Ramblers now are at 23 serving 18. And closer to the finish line here of set number 2. Durkin tries to take matters into his own hands, dumps, but that's dug up by Mather. Durkin misconnects with Metcalf. And Rattray puts it down with no blocker in front of him in transition. So Brandon Rattray continuing to be terminal offensively from the left side of the court in transition as the Ramblers now have their first set point of game number 2 here. Antoine Aguilar now. Jump float serve doesn't make it over the net. Committing another one of those sins of service. You never miss your serve on set point. So Stingers trying to determine who their next server is. And they now have Leo Durkin ready, the setter, serving at 19, serving 24. It's passed up by Lopez. Rattray tries to go with the inside set, but that one's blocked back by Mencia. Doesn't matter, though, because Mather in transition scores the point. And the Ramblers win set number 2, 25-19 in a decisive fashion, cleaning up the garbage, what happened in that sort of transitional period there. The ball kind of rattling around a little bit, but Mather available and gets a nice transition set from Mather. Scores the cross-court point for the winner. And once again, now the Ramblers with a commanding 2-0 lead here in this match as the teams switch ends. All right. Well, thank you again for coming back with us. Just saw the close of that second set, Las Vegas Ramblers versus the Utah Stingers. Ramblers now up 2 games to love after a 25-22 and 25-19 victories. We've seen the Stingers continue to have a hard time to find the court offensively. Their hitting errors continue to pile up, coupled with quite a few service errors and a little bit of a lack of consistency of the connection between Leo Durkin and his middle blockers, Alex Shmelev and Corey Metcalf. We've seen Shmelev get a couple of points, but unfortunately that connection with Metcalf just isn't really firing on all cylinders throughout those first 2 sets. So hopefully Coach Daniel can figure out what needs to be done. The passing has been pretty consistent for the Stingers, but once again, the connection there between setter and quick hitter just isn't really firing right now. Meanwhile, Romero and Mencia have been strong contributors from the right side and left side outside hitter positions. But mainly player of the game so far for the Utah Stingers has been Storm Fa'agata Tafuga. Really his jump serving produced a few aces in that last set. His back row attacking has been very key for the Stingers. His passing has been consistent. But overall, the Stingers, with their backs against the wall right now, they're going to need to come up with some kind of formula to address this and figure out how they can at least come out of the gates with some fire, create some momentum on their side, try to steal out a Game 3 win and see if they can force a Game 4, maybe even a Game 5, but they're going to have to rely on some serious momentum swings and maybe a little bit of good fortune as well. On the other side, the team in black and gold, the Las Vegas Ramblers, they're pretty much firing on all cylinders. They're putting some good pressure on the Stingers from the inline. Their service game has been on point. Their service errors have been minimal, and their service aces have been a very key factor into this overall match and what's gotten them to these 2-set victories so far. Offensively speaking, you're seeing Sean Dennis, the 6'11 middle blocker, continue to create a strong connection with his setter, Tanner Maxwell, and also Ryan Mather on the right side cleaning up any of those messy sets as an opposite usually does, paired with Brandon Rattray, the left side attacker for the Ramblers out of UCLA and just finished his first season in Spain, really carrying a large load of the offensive responsibilities from the left side and also the back row attacking for the Ramblers. So as our teams come back out onto the court now, our lineup cards are turned in, and I don't see any personnel changes quite yet. Don't expect to see any, actually. The Ramblers continuing with their same lineup as they've had throughout this match. Tanner Maxwell with the setting duties, Ryan Mather at opposite, Sean Dennis and Antoine Aguilar, the middle blockers, and outside hitters, number 15, Kevin Lopez, and number 20, Brandon Rattray. Meanwhile, for the Stingers, we do have one change. I see, Shmelev and Metcalf in the middle. I see Durkin setting. Inovo Romero continuing to be the outside hitter. Storm Fa'agata Tafuga, the outside hitter. Kai Duquem, and the only change I do see here is number 1, Paul Clark, has been inserted into the outside hitter position, which means that Storm is now playing opposite, and Inovo Romero will be the other outside hitter. So a little bit of a lineup change here. Hold on a second. Excuse me. Change that. Once again, Paul Clark is now playing opposite for the Utah Stingers. Number 1 in green. No, sorry, the Storm's opposite. Okay, anyways, here comes Durkin with his jump float serve. Sean Dennis out of the middle, dug by Durkin. Tomahawk set and thrown over by Clark. Quick attack, dug up. Here comes Storm's first attempt, blocked back, covered by Romero. Metcalf, that one's dug up by Lopez. Rattray. Oh, he gets a nice swing down the line off of the head of Leo Durkin's defensive positioning and score a point over to the Ramblers. A nice extended rally there. Now Tanner Maxwell. Jump float serve, gets a little luck off of the equipment. Rattray foot volleys it. That ball is not returnable. And now here is Paul Clark preparing for his first jump serve of the third set. Down by 1 point. Early action game number 3. High toss, jump serve spins. And there's an ace as it catches Rattray. Crossed over as his jump serve was tracking from area 1 back cross court to the Ramblers area 1 and just caught Rambler player Brandon Rattray off guard. So first service attempt equals an ace for Paul Clark. Here comes his second service attempt. Passed up by Lopez. Excuse me, Mather has to slap it over as that set position, set location, not exactly what Mather was looking for. And the Stingers find themselves with a nice 2-point lead here. Clark's jump service attempt goes out of bounds long. Bringing the Ramblers back to within 1 now as Brandon Rattray prepares for his next service attempt. Pass by Kai Duquem. Right side attack, controlled and dug by Maxwell. Here comes Lopez, has to free ball it over. Romero digs it up. Storm again from the right side, so we're seeing early contributions from the lineup change as Mencia has taken a seat on the bench and Storm Fa'agata Tafuga, showing his all-around volleyball skill, has been moved over to the opposite position and hitting from the right side. As Metcalf's jump float serve is way out of bounds. Not even close to finding the sideline or inline. As that middle blocker service attempt might need to be reevaluated. Here's Sean Dennis now. 6'11", middle blocker, preparing for his jump float serve. Hybrid spin, and he gets his second ace of the match. Sean Dennis, the very unique technique of his jump float serve. His arms are very long and also quite skinny, if I may add. Prepares for his jump float serve once again. A little hybrid action again, passed it by Clark. Romero out of system attack, blocked up, covered. Dennis showing some athleticism, but that one doesn't get to a returnable place as that ball finds its way out of bounds. So, applaud the effort. Unfortunate that the ball wasn't able to be continued. Storm Fa'agata Tafuga now playing opposite for the Utah Stingers. Started the match at outside hitter position, and his jump serve finds the net for his service error. 5 serving 4. Early action in game number 3. It's the Ramblers, if you've just tuned in, have a 2-0 game lead in this match of undefeateds in the NVA. As Mather's jump serve attempt goes out of bounds long. Inovo Romero now preparing to jump serve. Inovo Romero, jump spin off the top of the net. One arm pass by Rattray. Blocked back but covered. Lopez, his swing attempt gets blocked by Shmelev and Durkin. Shmelev and Durkin pairing up for a nice combo 2-man block. Need to see more of those from the Stingers. Once again, Shmelev extremely excited about that block. As Romero continues to serve now. And he gets a clean ace through the seam of Lopez and Rattray. So, nice service attempt by Inovo Romero to get that ace. As we have come to our first technical timeout, 8 serving 5. Seeing some good pressure from the Utah Stingers from the inline, really forcing the Ramblers' hand a little bit here on their serve reception. I believe that's 2 or 3 aces so far for the Utah Stingers in this game alone, and it's only 8 serving 5. So, technical timeout helping the Ramblers' cause perhaps, maybe icing Inovo Romero a little bit while being able to save their own 2 timeouts that they have in their back pockets. Coach Nick England over there in the white polo shirt talking about some strategies, what we want to do in serve-receive, where we want to possibly run our offense out of this timeout. Focus on, first and foremost, getting a good pass up to the net so Tanner can run a good, solid offense. Haven't seen a lot of back row bick attacking from the Ramblers in serve-receive, but that's a result of some good, strong service attempts from their adversaries across the net. Meanwhile, over there for the team in green, still trying to find some sense of urgency, create some excitement, get a couple more block opportunities perhaps. Romero, attacking from the left side has been a little bit better so far, but really some momentum being created from the inline for the Stingers. Meanwhile, the new player on the court, Paul Clark, has made some minor contributions, not a lot, but Storm Fa'agata Tafuga really stepping it up, being called on to go from outside hitter to opposite, and we've seen him make an impact as well early in this third set. So here we are now, back to action. Inovo Romero now, the Cuban, preparing to jump serve once again. Up by 3, and his serve goes out of bounds long. So the technical timeout ices Inovo Romero, unfortunately. Give that point to the Las Vegas Ramblers. And Kevin Lopez now back to serve. Down by 2, 6 serving 8. Jump serve comes off the equipment. Durkin, it's a bit of a block of the set, which is illegal. The ball had not broken the plane, as Brandon Rattray is quite athletic and is a good jumper. He's able to reach his hands over and basically block the set attempt from Leo Durkin, which was a violation. And now Shmelev back to serve, 9 serving 6. Lopez, here comes Rattray over to Mather, out of system. Rattray goes on the left. Nice high swing by Rattray. Rattray really doing a great job of manufacturing kills in transition. Not getting the most ideal set, but sometimes, you really do have to deal with those sets that are not in system, but Rattray and Mather doing a great job cleaning that mess up. Here comes Clark out of system as well. He goes down the line, but dug by Mather. Mather again out of system, and Hillman has to curl it out of bounds wide, as that set from Lopez really traveled widely outside the court. So Stingers continuing to apply pressure here. A little bit of momentum on their side of the ball, as Leo Durkin now jump float serves, passed by Lopez. Maxwell shovels it to Rattray. Nice attack, but dug. Here's Clark. Ooh, a little beachy roll shot. Little roll shot right over the block, nicely played by Paul Clark, the 6'1" outside hitter, born and raised in Centerville, Ohio. Went to college at Southern Virginia University, the volleyball powerhouse. So here's Leo Durkin once again. Jump float, pass by Rattray. In system, he tries to roll shot it, but that goes off the antenna. And that's illegal as it goes out of bounds. Rattray tries his hand at a roll shot and commits the hitting error. And we have a timeout called by the Las Vegas Ramblers, currently down by 5. And you see Coach England pulling his setter aside to strategize specifically about what the Ramblers need to do out of this timeout to sort of right the ship, kind of create some momentum on their side. Get a good game plan here on serve receive and what kind of offense they want to run. We've got, I believe, Antoine Aguilar and Brandon Rattray in the front row currently. Excuse me, it looks like Sean Dennis and Brandon Rattray, but they really need to have a good pass here out of the gates. So meanwhile, for the Stingers, Leo Durkin's jump float serve has been causing some problems. They've been able to manufacture a 5-point lead here about midway through this third set. As Lopez passes, not perfect. Rattray gets a huge stuff down by Corey Metcalf. Corey Metcalf's getting his first block of this match. Rattray just sort of dropping his arm and really swinging hard into that cross court. As Leo Durkin now continues his service run, causing some problems. Here comes Maxwell with a little tip over, picked up. Kai DeQuem goes to Storm on the right. Down the line attack, covered. Free ball from the Ramblers. Durkin goes right side to Storm, and again, Storm, Fa'agata Tafuga from the right side. He's like a brand new player over there. Really showing. Dug up, but not returnable by the Stingers, so good substitution there as Sean Dennis is able to score the point for the Ramblers and stop the bleeding a little bit from that service run of Leo Durkin now. Ramblers find themselves down by 6 here. Tanner Maxwell back to serve. Pass by Kai DeQuem. Left side attack by Storm, and Mather once again. Ryan Mather with a well-formed block, taking away Storm's cross-court hitting attack line. And I believe Ryan Mather scores his third stuff-down block of this match. Ramblers now down by 5, trying to fight their way back. Maxwell's service error finds the net and cancels out any momentum that he may have been creating for his team with that service error. As Paul Clark now goes back and prepares his service attempt for the Utah Stingers. 6'1" outside hitter. High toss, step close. Oh, Ryan Mather and Manoujian can't talk about whose seam that is, as another clean ace down the attack line and give Paul Clark a second ace in this third set. So good contributions from Paul Clark coming in off of the bench when his number gets called, inserted into this game to make a difference, and that's exactly what he's doing from the end line with his second service ace of the set. That time going across as we've reached our second technical timeout here. Utah Stingers with a 7-point lead over the Las Vegas Ramblers here. Very interested to see these changes that the Utah Stingers have made contributing here to their current status of a 7-point lead in game number 3. Paul Clark contributing from the back row, his service attempts, like I just said, back-to-back, not back-to-back, but he's gotten 2 aces throughout this game so far. And Storm Fa'agata Tafuga getting moved from outside hitter to opposite hitter has made a huge contribution for the team in green, as his attack tendencies from the right side have caused the block of the Ramblers and defense to be a little bit unsure of themselves. So nice adjustments. When you're down 2 games to 0, you need to make some changes to see if you can create something wrong that was missing from those first 2 sets, whether it's a matchup thing or a rotational blocker versus hitter thing. And so far, the changes that Coach Daniel has called on for game number 3 is starting to pay some dividends for the Utah Stingers. Meanwhile, the Ramblers' passing has just broken down a little bit. They've not been able to run their offense as efficiently as they were in games 1 and 2. And the passing from specifically Kevin Lopez and Manoujian and Rattray, all 3 of the pass serve receptors for the Las Vegas Ramblers have really struggled a little bit. Maybe with this new look Utah team and not really too sure what kind of serves were coming at them. So here we are now, 16 serving 9. Paul Clark's jump serve finds the net. And the technical timeout once again spoils Paul Clark's service run. Ryan Mather comes into the front row. And Brandon Rattray prepares to serve. Started this match out really hot from the inline, but has cooled since then. As his serve goes out of bounds again now. Ramblers find them. He comes in to jump serve or be a serving substitute for Corey Metcalf, the other middle blocker. I think Mencia might have been caught off guard in this duty, but his number has been called. And a jump serve. Spin goes into the net. And he will promptly be substituted out. As Coach Daniel says, that's my fault. I didn't prep you for that service attempt, so don't worry about it, Jorge. And let's move on to the next one as Sean Dennis now prepares to serve for the Las Vegas Ramblers. Sean Dennis with his jump float hybrid. Backside attack by Fagata Tafuga really has been unstoppable from the right side since they made that switch to the opposite position. And look for him to continue to get a lot of set opportunities here as he now prepares to jump serve. His right side attacking has been very strong for the Stingers. Unfortunately, his jump serve goes out of bounds long. And the point goes back to the Ramblers. So a little seesaw back and forth here. Quite a few missed serves here. Ryan Mather now, see if he can create some kind of momentum from the inline for the Ramblers as he takes a little bit off, and it's passed by Shmelev. Unfortunately, the Ramblers get a little confused on the blocking duties and leave Shmelev wide open for a kill with no blockers up. The Stingers continue to maintain the momentum throughout this third set as Inoval Romero preparing the jump serve now. Inoval Romero, outside hitter. Passed up by Rattray. Here comes Mather out of system, roll shot. That one's dug. Shmelev in transition. He gets the kill, wrist away kill out of Alex Shmelev in transition for the Stingers. So Shmelev continuing to produce out of the middle, whether it's blocking or scoring points offensively, especially in transition. You can see that connection between Leo Durkin and himself still strong for the Stingers. So here's Romero once again jump serving. This time he finds the net. Give the point over to the Las Vegas Ramblers. And here we'll see Ryan Schickling's first service attempt of the day. Ryan Schickling, a 6'2" outside hitter from Laguna Niguel, California. Played his high school volleyball out there. And his jump float serve goes out of bounds long, unfortunately. So 21 serving 13, Alex Shmelev now. 6'6" middle blocker for the Stingers with his jump float serve. Manoujian passes. Maxwell goes to Aguilar, slapped over. And the referee says that ball did in fact hit the ground. Your hand was not under it. Inoval, don't try to fib to me and crack a smile. Score the point over to the Ramblers as Antoine Aguilar is able to manufacture a kill, and now he goes back for his jump float hybrid. Passed by Romero. Quick attack once again from Metcalf. So Stingers really emphasizing the quick attacks here. Utilizing and producing points that way out of the middle. Their passing has been on point, and they're able to feed their middle blockers who are working hard and getting quite a few set attempts. There's Durkin's jump float serve, passed by Schickling. Dennis responds with his own quick attack over the block of Metcalf and scores a point. Sean Dennis now out of the middle. Ramblers still down by 7, 15 serving 22. They need to create some kind of momentum, if not just to see if they can even this set up, but it looks like we may be headed to a fourth set. Sean Dennis blocks that ball as Leo Durkin maybe forced that Matter quick attempt into a little bit, but Sean Dennis was able to block Metcalf's attempt. 16 serving 22 now. Another service error from the Ramblers after scoring a point, unfortunately. Will not help the cause, as the Utah Stingers now 23 serving 16. Paul Clark once again. Service attempt. His serve finds the net. A few too many service errors here at the moment. Brandon Rattray now for the Ramblers. Prepares to serve. Started out this match with a clean ace. Let's see what he can do here. And that ball goes out of bounds. As is the case, unfortunately, with men's volleyball. If you've been watching this sport, sometimes there are compounding service errors back to back, to back, to back, to back, to back sometimes. Corey Metcalf. Back to back to back to back service errors. And let's see what Sean Dennis can do here as all the momentum has been taken out of the gym for both sides. So set point to the Stingers. Sean Dennis now back to serve, 18 serving 24. Make it over. And he does not. However, that will end the set, thankfully. There will not need to be any more missed serves as the Stingers come back and win 25-18. We're going to take a quick break to let that settle in for everybody at home, all those missed serves, and hopefully we can come back with some better service attempts and a little bit more exciting volleyball as the teams switch in. We'll be right back. Thank you. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful day on the boardwalk here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Getting ready to start set number 4 here of our mid-morning match. The Las Vegas Ramblers against the Utah Stingers here. Currently 2-1 in favor of the Ramblers, but the Stingers came back to win set 3 and force us into a set number 4 here, as some of those casual wanderers should come on into this championship court here at Harrah's Casino and Resort to see some professional men's indoor volleyball. Part of the National Volleyball Association here. Event number 2 of our 2021 season. Thank you for tuning in wherever you may be on this Memorial Day weekend, Friday before. Hope your weekend is getting off to a good start. So once again, the teams are now on the court, ready to start set number 4. Utah Stingers in green, Las Vegas Ramblers in gold. One lineup change back for the Las Vegas Ramblers finds Kevin Lopez being reinserted into the starting 6 as he took a breather midway through set number 3 for Ryan Schickling. He's number 15 there in gold. Kevin Lopez, Antoine Aguilar, Brandon Rattray, Tanner Maxwell continuing to stay warm over for the team in green, the Utah Stingers. They'll be serve receiving here to start game number 4. Leo Durkin, number 4, with the setting duties. Inoval Romero, outside hitter. Storm Fagata Tofuga playing opposite after that lineup change in set number 3. Paul Clark making nice contributions specifically from the inline, scoring 2 aces in game number 3, helping lead the Stingers to that game 3 victory. Meanwhile, Corey Metcalf and Alex Shmelev, the middle blockers for the Stingers, contributing nicely on the offensive load as well. Quick shout out to Mikasa, proud volleyball sponsor of the National Volleyball Association. Thank you for your support, Mikasa, the best ball in the game. Wouldn't be here without you. Also, a quick shout out to JBJ Events, the event crew here that sets up the indoor volleyball in this Atlantic City, New Jersey area. Thank you so much for your support, JBJ. We're happy to be involved with you and look forward to a long and prosperous relationship as well. Just working on some scoring lineup issues with the official scorekeeper desk on the other side of the court here, as both teams continue to try to stay loose and warm. Quick meeting there with our officials team in the red jerseys. Looks like they've got it sorted out, and we'll get confirmation of players. Assistant referee doing her final lineup checks, making sure there's no incorrect numbers on jerseys or lineup cards. Here comes the official ball of the NVA, and we'll get a green light. We're good to go. As Tanner Maxwell now for the Las Vegas Ramblers will get us started here. Set number 4 action from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Romero, out of system pass. Kaido Quem goes to Paul Clark. 3-man block. He gets a touch off the block as that ball goes out of bounds. Nice attack line by Paul Clark, the undersized outside hitter going up against 6'11" middle blocker. Almost hitting the ball towards the back corner of the gym and manufacturing a point as Leo Durkin now jump float serves. Here comes Rattray, and he gets blocked back by Paul Clark. Paul Clark making a name for himself, creating a little player of the match possibility here. Vote for Paul, as he's gotten 4 points here, 2 service aces, a block, and a kill so far. It's Leo Durkin, short jump float, played up by Maxwell. Manoujian goes to Mather on his attack from the left side. That ball goes out of bounds long. So the Ramblers off to a rough start here. Find themselves down in a 3-0 deficit early on in set number 4. Leo Durkin, a Rattray once again. And the Ramblers managed to force a side out of a quick attack, I believe, by Sean Dennis. Lopez, Mather, and Dennis through the front row. Rattray now preparing to jump serve for the Ramblers. Curls it over, passed by Clark. There's Metcalf, has got to keep it in. Oh, one-hand Kong block, but covered. Storm dug up by Maxwell. Lopez, his first swing attempt in about a game and a half, and that didn't result in what he hoped for, so I'll be buying donuts for the gym after that one and give a point back to the Stingers. Sean Dennis with a huge Kong block, but was covered nicely by the Stingers to keep that rally alive here. And Paul Clark now at the inline, preparing to serve once again for the Stingers. Paul Clark gets his third ace of this match. Third ace in about a game and a quarter, really making a strong impact from the inline. Paul Clark's service game. Vote for Paul. Jump serve ace number 3. Can you do it again? Overpass off Rattray. Durkin goes to Metcalf, sets it over. Here's Lopez, attack line, and his attack goes for a second consecutive hitting error. So the Ramblers really scrambling right now. Turning into the Scramblers at the moment. In the wrong direction as Paul Clark continues to put pressure from the inline on the serve reception game of the Ramblers. Oh, okay, Paul Clark's serve finds the top of the net, doesn't clear it, and lets the Ramblers off the hook there as they score their second point. And now find themselves down by 4 as Sean Dennis prepares to serve. Sean Dennis, jump float hybrid, passed by Romero, out of system. Durkin goes back to Romero. And that ball goes out of bounds wide. So Romero takes an aggressive cross-court angle but can't find the real estate. As Sean Dennis gets out of the way and saunters back for his next service attempt. Sean Dennis with his jump float once again to Romero. Nice pass. Romero again on the left side, and this time he gets stuffed down by Ryan Mather. So Romero can't find the court and then finds Ryan Mather's block for another point to the Ramblers. As the Stingers now have given up 2 quick points behind the serve of Sean Dennis and the Ramblers. Sean Dennis gets his momentum going forward. Passed up by Kai Duquem. Romero for the third time gets a swing and a kill, this time off of the block of Antoine Aguilar. As Romero, third time the charm, is able to earn a side out and score a point for the Stingers. So here's Corey Metcalf, 6'6" middle blocker, Utah Valley. Oh, Ryan Mather just gets blocked down by Novo Romero, and he returns the favor. We've seen that play earlier where Mather gets a block and comes right back, and now Romero gets a block. So, good action, good high-level volleyball action as we've come to our first technical timeout. 8 serving 4. Let's see Mencia giving Romero a little advice on his blocking technique. So our first technical timeout, this is set number 4. If you've been watching this seesaw battle back and forth, early action was all in favor of the Ramblers when they took a quick 2-0 lead. But the Stingers, behind the leadership of Coach Mike Daniel, made a couple of key personnel changes. Inserted Paul Clark and moved Storm Fagata Tafuga from outside hitter over to the opposite position, which has been quite fruitful for the Utah Stingers, as they were able to win game number 3 and now have a nice 4-point lead in early action in game number 4. Our teams come back out onto the court. Ramblers really scrambling now to find their mojo. That connection going with Kevin Lopez, Brandon Rattray. Manouji in the passing really needs to step up for the team in gold, as their serve pressure from the Stingers has really been upgraded throughout this match. So here's Lopez on the left. Dug up. Here's Romero, and he gets a big swing in transition. Wow, nice dig by the Stingers, and a turn in transition by Inovo Romero for a 4th straight point back to the Stingers. Romero and Mather getting into a nice little battle here on that side of the court. Metcalf, float serve, Rattray passes. Mather swung at, but blocked, back and out of bounds that time by Romero. So give the credit to Ryan Mather for the point. And now he runs back to prepare for his jump serve, finding his team down by 4. What can he manufacture from the inline? A little spin, passed up by Shmelev. Storm Fagata Tafuga really on the right side. Man, so right now the Stingers are just coming at the Ramblers from both sides. Both pin attackers are really aggressively swinging. They're confident, the momentum. They've got good success for that to be an interesting key throughout this match. A little miscommunication here. Durkin's going to dump. No, he brings it back for Shmelev. Maxwell goes to Rattray out of the back row this time. Rattray flying out of the back row in transition. He scores the point as the Ramblers searching for some identity. They got to find some urgency, some momentum on their side. Rattray, Maxwell talking about it. Here comes Lopez with his serve. Jump serve, passed. Comes Storm from the back row, blocked back and out of bounds. So Storm Fagata Tafuga continuing to dominate from the opposite hitter position. He's contributing nicely as the outside hitter, but Coach Daniel changed him over to the opposite, and he's really made a big impact for the Stingers at that position through games 3 and 4. It's Romero's jump serve, passed by Lopez. Aguilar goes quick, but out of bounds. There's the connection between Maxwell and Aguilar, still not firing on all cylinders quite yet. Antoine just needs a little bit of a higher set on that one, and the result may have been different. Inovo Romero, outside hitter from Cuba. Jump serve, passed by Manoujian. Here's Rattray down the line, and his swing turns and goes out of bounds wide. So Ramblers continuing to shoot themselves in the foot a little bit, and we're going to see a setting substitution come in for the Ramblers. Tanner Maxwell is going to be taking a seat in favor of backup setter number 9. That's Stephen Duho, we saw play in the last event. Stephen Duho going in. Here's his first attempt. Here comes Rattray. Wow, Shmelev with the nice stuff down on Brandon Rattray. Can't find the court right now. Shmelev with the strong block in Rattray's cross court. Ramblers continuing to spin. Now down by 6 once again. Inovo Romero contributing from the front court and now the service line. And that ball finds its way out of bounds wide. Give the point to the Ramblers as we continue action here. Antoine Aguilar, 6'8", middle blocker, played his college volleyball at Long Beach State. Passed up by Paul Clark. Shmelev tips it over, dug by Mather. Duho goes to Rattray again, and Rattray this time in transition is able to score the point with a strong cross-court kill. Shmelev and Duho couldn't form that block successfully. And Rattray scores a point for the Ramblers. Aguilar continuing to serve. Romero passes. There's Storm out of the back row right side, slapped up by Lopez. Rattray rolls it over. Storm again from the back row, and this roll shot again finds the floor in front of Mather. Storm, Fagata Tafuga. Continuing to contribute and just play smart volleyball. Storm is not making gross hitting errors. He's finding the court. He's finding hands. He's making good, strong service contributions from the inline. He's passing, playing defense, picking great service or great hitting attack lines when he's hitting down the line, hitting cross court, throwing in some roll shots. Storm Fagata Tafuga making a case for himself as player of the match. And Shmelev's jump float serve goes out of bounds long. Lets the Ramblers off the hook a little bit. And now we have Duho getting ready for his service attempt. Stephen Duho, passed up by Romero. And now Paul Clark on the left side. And the block combo of Ryan Mather and Sean Dennis provide a big wall for the Ramblers and some much needed celebration. 6'8" and 6'11" versus 6'1". It's going to be a tricky attempt for the outside hitter in that combo. Oh, Storm Fagata Tafuga just gets hit by the serve. Looked like it was going to be inbounds anyways, but Storm kind of worked on his dodgeball technique and got hit in the foot by that service attempt. So Stephen Duho now on the board with a service ace. Here's Clark passes, throws it over to Metcalf, picked up by Duho. Menujo goes to Brandon Rattray with some heat in transition. Brandon Rattray with some strong heat. No approach, just all shoulder and a little flex down too after that. Ramblers now down by 3, so pitter-patter. Finding their way back into this game. Stephen Duho making nice contributions since coming in, specifically from the inline. Jinxed him as he misses his serve. So that brings us to our second technical timeout. Unfortunate service error by Stephen Duho, the setter now for the Ramblers. As the Utah Stingers currently down 1-2, but with a 4-point lead here as we get closer to the business end of set number 4 of our brunch match here in Atlantic City. Utah Stingers versus Las Vegas Ramblers. Team in green over there, you see Coach Mike Daniel talking about some strategies, what the Stingers need to do to maintain or possibly build upon this 4-point lead that they've established throughout set number 4. Made some key changes during set number 3, which have really paid off for the Stingers. Meanwhile, for the Ramblers over there, Coach England in the white polo shirt, he needs to really bring in some momentum and excitement. A couple of key blocks by Sean Dennis and Ryan Mather really shows, what the block and defense of the Ramblers can do. However, their service errors have been compounding throughout this match, and that service line game needs to really find the way that it was back in game number 1, because currently it looks like we may be heading to a 5th tiebreaker set if the Stingers are able to maintain this 4-point lead throughout this set. So players come back onto the court here. Stingers will be serving. It'll be number 4, the setter, Leo Durkin. Once again, serving for the Stingers. His jump float serve. That's by Rattray. Shovel set over to Mather. Roll shot and controlled. Paul Clark now off the block, and Mather can't control it. So Paul Clark really making strong contributions offensively through the front row. 6'1" Paul Clark. not afraid to hit against some of these bigger blockers on the Ramblers. Leo Durkin now 17, serving 12. And his serve finds the net for a service error. Lets the Ramblers off the hook. Brandon Rattray goes into the back row. And he prepares for his next service attempt. That ball can't find the court and goes out of bounds long, as the team cheering did not assist in that service attempt. Paul Clark getting ready to serve for the Utah Stingers now. 3 aces so far through this game match for Paul Clark. Can he add to that total? Not yet. As that serve goes out of bounds wide over towards the Rambler bench. And now we have 6'11" middle blocker Sean Dennis preparing for his jump float serve. Down by 4. Let's see if he can create some momentum for his team. It's passed by Romero. Big attack by Clark. Off of Rattray's face. Still alive. Rattray flies out of the back row and tips. Storm one blocker up. Controlled and dug by Mather. Here comes Lopez. Smart play. Dug by Durkin. Storm Fa'agata Tofuga. Blocked up and dug by Rattray. Rattray out of the Bic, and we have a clean kill, no back row violation. So Rattray scores the point for the Ramblers after a little bit of a heated rally there. Brandon Rattray continuing to fly out of the back row after digging that ball off of his right cheek earlier in that rally. Sean Dennis now, jump float, pass by Kai DeQuinn. Storm on the right side. Nice attack by Storm Fa'agata Tafuga, taking away the line seam and trying to hit the 6'11" defender. Gets a clean kill. Stingers bounce back now, up by 4 still. 19 serving 15, Corey Metcalf. His serve finds the net. Keeps the keeps the Ramblers alive and within striking distance of just 3 points as Ryan Mather now prepares to serve. Ryan Mather, 6'8", opposite out of Redondo Beach, California. This is jump serve, a little roll shot, and that ball finds the floor for a clean ace. Maybe Storm Fa'agata Tafuga could have stepped in and passed that ball for his squad, but he did not, and Kai DeQuinn not able to pick up on the roll shot from Ryan Mather. Now we see a little gamesmanship from Coach Mike Daniel of the Stingers, calling a timeout, trying to possibly ice Ryan Mather's next service attempt. Nice to see a little gamesmanship here from the coach as well being involved. Not a whole lot to talk about right now for these guys. They're currently up by 2, although down in games, 2-1, trying to force a decisive 5th set. Of course, that 5th set would be to 15 if necessary, for those of you that have never watched volleyball before. Teams coming back. Meanwhile, the Ramblers getting a little momentum, a little excitement, having some fun. Stephen Duho, number 9 right there, the setter that got inserted in by Coach England about halfway through this set. As Ryan Mather now prepares for his jump serve, his next service attempt. Currently down by 2 points in set number 4. Okay, gave it a little bit more gas this time, but put it in play. Storm Fa'agata Tafuga continues to produce from the right side of the court. Opposite player, number 8, Storm Fa'agata Tafuga. Tongue twister every time. I'm trying my best here, but Storm now getting to jump serve. Passed up by Lopez, and that ball's going to go out of bounds. Not returnable. So give Storm Fa'agata Tafuga another service ace as Coach Nick England and the Ramblers call their second timeout. Quite the service battle from both teams throughout this match. Ramblers started out hot from the end line. 4 or 5 service aces, I believe, in the first game and a half, but have since cooled. And their service game has resulted in more service errors than aces. Meanwhile, the Utah Stingers have really found their service game as Paul Clark has gotten 3 aces since the start of set number 3. I believe Alex Shmelev has gotten an ace. Romero has also assisted with some strong service attempts, and also Storm Fa'agata Tafunga has definitely been able to contribute with his service game from the inline since becoming the opposite attacker for the Stingers. 21-17. Ball's passed up well. Here comes Mather out of the back row, and he can't find the court. Way out of bounds, possibly trying to take out some of the players on the Utah Stinger sideline there. Storm Fa'agata Tafuga serving once again. Rattray can't control it, hits the roof. Rattray spinning, okay. Duho this time takes care of the overpass. So, bit of an unconventional play there by the team in gold, but scored the point nonetheless, as Stephen Duho, the setter, was able to slap that overpass down for a kill. And now we see Kevin Lopez getting ready to serve for the Ramblers, down by 4, trying to manufacture some points, possibly out of rotation. He scores an ace. A little confusion there on the Stinger side as to what rotation they were supposed to be in, which may have caused some vision issues for the passers of the Stingers. Well, Kevin Lopez once again here. Jump serving, pass by Romero. Romero goes inside the block of Antoine Aguilar and is able to score with the cross-court winner. 23 serving 19. And Coach England decides to call his second timeout, second and final timeout of this 4th set, as it kind of looks as if a 5th set is going to be taking place here shortly. Nonetheless, we still have a few points to play. Stingers, again, after making those key adjustments through set number 3, looking for the reverse sweep, possibly. But first thing first, they have to force a game number 5. Meanwhile, the Ramblers over there really need to clean up their passing game. Their serving game has gotten a little bit stronger through this set. They would love to go on a tear and come back and win this 4th set and be able to claim the only 4-0 title of the NVA. But as of right now, these two teams are still both undefeated. So Inovo Romero with his jump serve now. Manoujian passed that ball out of bounds, and so an ace goes to Romero. Timeout icing technique did not work that time. And we have set point for the Utah Stingers, looking to force that decisive 5th set tiebreaker. Romero jump serving. Strong with a little tape help. Passed up. Here's Rattray. He goes down the line and out of bounds wide. So give the point, and set number 4 goes to the Utah Stingers. And we're going to see our first 5-set game today, as the two teams that are undefeated in the NVA and in the same conference going to a 5th set tiebreaker. So in about 10 minutes or so, there will be only one undefeated team remaining. So as we get lineups and strategies finalized, we're going to take a quick breather, and we'll be right back before the start of this 5th set. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Harrah's Casino and Resort here in beautiful Atlantic City, New Jersey. We're here at the National Volleyball Association Stadium Court getting ready for game number 5, the 5th and decisive set of our second match of the day here between the Utah Stingers and the Las Vegas Ramblers, 2 undefeated teams in their respective conference. For those of you just tuning in, happy to have you here. Thank you for being part of the National Volleyball Association. Those of you that have been watching this match, you saw the Ramblers win the first 2 games. And then in set number 3, the Stingers made a few personnel changes and are now attempting for the reverse sweep. After being down 0-2, they are now tied at 2 games apiece as we get ready for this sprint to 15 points. Key change here back with the Ramblers. You see starting setter Tanner Maxwell now back to serve, replacing Duho. And here's his float serve over to Paul Clark. Paul Clark on the left, swings but dug by Manoujian. Rattray in transition, controlled. Durkin can't make it there around the computer equipment and video staff, unfortunately. So give the first point of this 5th set over to the Las Vegas Ramblers. Tanner Maxwell now once again. His jump float serve. Short, pass by Romero. There's Paul Clark again, and now Sean Dennis gets a block. Sean Dennis, the 6'11" middle blocker, gets a little bit of a 4-leaf clover on that one. He might be going to the slot machines after that block because it wasn't quite in the proper place for that, but got his hands over the net and resulted in a point. 2-0 now to the Ramblers. Durkin goes to Metcalf, and Metcalf responds with a nice quick attack. So that ball ricochets off of, I believe, Ryan Mather's head and goes out of bounds. So 1 serving 2. Early 5th set action. Oh, 1 second now. We've got some replay issues with the whistles, perhaps. Not too sure what happened. Head referee called a replay. Confirmed by the assistant referee. And Leo Durkin now jump float serving once again for the Stingers. Pass by Manoujian. Sean Dennis's attack. That one goes wide. So Sean Dennis's quick attack goes out wide, and now it's 2-2. Durkin once again, jump float serve, pass by Rattray, slapped around. Dennis tries to get it over but can't keep it in. So an informal ace goes to Leo Durkin, even though 3 players touched it. It's now 3 serving 2. So after a quick start by the Ramblers, Stingers have been able to take the lead right back. Float serve again. Here comes Rattray from the right, and he gets a kill off the block of Paul Clark. So Brandon Rattray responds nicely with a good kill as he saunters back to the end line for his first service attempt of the 5th set. Brandon Rattray. Jump serves, pass by Kai Duquem. Metcalf again, quick, and Manoujian can't stay on his feet to dig that ball. Metcalf now has scored 2 points in this 5th set. Corey Metcalf, a little bit of a sleeper through early action in this match, but has come on strong. Has contributed nicely offensively for the Stingers. Here's Paul Clark now. His jump serve. That ball can't make it over the net. And we are tied at 4. Here's Sean Dennis, 6'11", middle blocker. Played his college volleyball at UC California, Irvine. Jump float serve, spins, pass by Romero. Durkin goes to Metcalf again, and he gets a 3rd kill. Metcalf on a tear, his 3rd kill of the 5th set alone, has really contributed nicely for the Stingers and very timely. Corey Metcalf, 3 kills in game number 5 so far. It's a jump float serve, and that ball can't find the net, unfortunately. So Corey Metcalf's service attempt results in an error, and tied again at 5 points apiece. Playing to 15. 1/3 of this game already behind us. Ryan Mathers jump serve, passed up by Paul Clark. Comes Romero's attack, and he goes out of bounds down the line long. So Inovo Romero's attack results in a hitting error, and the Ramblers now find themselves up by 1. 6 serving 5. Ryan Mather taking a little bit off of his jump serve here, keeping it in play, being smart, not just roll shotting it, but giving it a little bit of heat. Ryan Mathers jump serve again, passed by Paul Clark. Storm Fa'agata Tufuga. That ball was in, and a very nice hit by Storm Fa'agata Tufuga on the right side once again. Really hitting nicely, picking his attack lines very smartly, very heads-up play, showing his volleyball IQ. Really strong opposite attacking by Storm. There's his serve. Nugent out of system. Here comes Lopez on the left. Dug up by Romero. Durkin goes back to Storm. He roll shots it. Lopez once again sets it over. Dug up. Romero. His attack is too strong and not able to be dug by Rattray. So Romero with a nice swing in transition. Really give credit to Storm Fa'agata Tufuga for keeping that ball in play throughout that rally, giving his team another chance to swing. And now the Stingers up again by 1 point. And that serve goes into the net, and we're tied at 7s. Kevin Lopez now back to serve for the Ramblers. Outside hitter. Nice spin serve, passed by Romero. Backside to Storm, roll shot, swatted back, and down by Rattray and Antoine Aguilar as they both kind of hung in the air and kind of swatted back Storm's sort of roll shot. A little bit of a beach block there for those of you that play on the beach. They kind of hang and swat. Throw it down, big man. Team switching sides, and we will take a technical timeout at 8 points. Technical timeout called halfway through this 5th set. So back and forth, seesaw battle as was expected, as it's been throughout this entire match so far. Anyways, Ramblers finding themselves up by 1 in the 5th. Quick side check. See Coach Nick giving some instruction. It looks like maybe on serve reception or maybe defense over there in the white polo shirt for the Stingers. As they kind of finalize what they need to do in track to hopefully winning this match in 5 after winning the first 2 sets and avoiding the reverse sweep. Meanwhile, for the Stingers, playing well. Unfortunate block there against Storm Fa'agata Tufuga on that back row attack, but Romero, good contributions offensively. Paul Clark really making a big impact when he came into this match. And Shmelev, number 24 there. You see number 17, Corey Metcalf. He's the other middle blocker that's not on the court at the moment, but middle blockers, you see Leo Durkin really getting his middles involved right now as this match has progressed. Has really made a huge difference in this outcome for the Stingers throughout this morning's match against the Ramblers. So here we go, back to action now. Kevin Lopez back to serve once again for the Ramblers. Currently on a 1-point lead, 8 serving 7. Off the tape, pass by Clark, quick to Shmelev, and that ball finds the side of the Ramblers as Antoine wasn't able to get his hands over the net. Happens fast, but that was on the Ramblers side, so give the point back to the Stingers. And Shmelev with a nice kill right out of that timeout. Inovo Romero now back to serve for the Stingers. It's his high toss jump serve. Passed up by Lopez. Mnuchin has to set. Rattray swings, high hands controlled and dug. Shmelev got to throw it over, but he was way over the center line for a violation, and the point goes to the Ramblers after a bit of a scramble by Mnuchin to set that ball. Well played swing by Brandon Rattray. Shmelev scrambling of his own and unfortunately just stepped too far over that center line. So here's Antoine Aguilard for the Ramblers, up 9, serving 8. His jump float serve very consistent. Pass by Romero. Storm Fogata to Fuga from the back row. Getting another kill. And just Alex Shmelev, 6'6" middle blocker. Just saw him get a kill a couple minutes ago. Let's see what he can do with his service attempt from the end line. Pass by Lopez. Yeah, a little bit of a free ball from Rattray. Paul Clark gets the kill down the line as Tanner Maxwell had some kind of confusion going on there. And Paul Clark makes a great contribution as well. Nicely timed point. And we are going to see a timeout being taken by the Ramblers. Now down by 1. Stingers leading 10 serving 9. So a sprint to 15 points. We're now at 10 serving 9. We've seen a little bit of everything through this 5th set and a little bit of everything through this entire match. You've seen some personnel changes. You've seen some momentum swings back and forth. You've seen some long compounding service errors. And here we are. Stingers trying to pull off the reverse sweep. Ramblers trying to hold off and pull out a victory after winning the first 2 sets. Teams come back out onto the court. And we have Alex Shmelev once again with his jump float serve. Pass by Rattray, a little bit tight. Blocked by Maxwell, though. Maxwell coming up huge with a sneaky block on Metcalf, who maybe didn't realize that Tanner Maxwell was a front row blocker. And now we're deadlocked at 10s. Tanner Maxwell now. Look for Leo Durkin to possibly pull off the same little move. Now he's in the front row. He goes back to Storm. Fogata to Funga, and that ball goes out of bounds long. No touch indicated by any of the team in red. So hitting error to Storm, unfortunately, and the Ramblers now 11 serving 10. Tanner Maxwell continuing to serve. Jump float, pass by Romero. Quick attack finds the court by Metcalf, so nice move by Leo Durkin to get his middle blocker back in action after that hitting error a moment ago. As Leo Durkin now prepares to serve. 11 serving 11, game number 5. Leo Durkin from the left side of the court, jump floats to Mnuchin. Rattray on the right side gets controlled. Metcalf throws it over on 2, but it's dug. Here's Mather on the left. And his attack results in a missed contact of the ball a little bit, and it sails out of bounds long. Not what Mather with 12. Poorly timed mishit by Ryan Mather. Stingers now up 12 serving 11. A little sweat on the court that needs to be attended to. Player safety of utmost importance here. And we look like we're ready to go as Leo Durkin now serving with a 1-point lead. Jump float, pass by Rattray. There's Dennis, and he gets blocked by Metcalf. Corey Metcalf with the timely solo block against the 6'11" Sean Dennis. Wow. Corey Metcalf really stepping up. Kill and a block. Stingers now with a 2-point cushion. Float serve to Rattray. Out of system, Mnuchin has to set. Here's Rattray again. That was blocked, but I thought I saw it hit his shoulder. Nobody else seems to have seen it as the ball is awarded back to the Ramblers. And there is no replay system here. It looked as if the ball might have ricocheted off of Brandon Rattray's shoulder on its way out of bounds, but no one saw it. And so the point goes to the Ramblers, 12 serving 13, and here's Rattray's jump service attempt, curls it over to Paul Clark. Storm Tuga gets blocked by Ryan Mather. Oh my goodness. Just back and forth. Tied, deadlocked at 13s. And now we'll get a timeout called by the Utah Stingers. Calm the nerves down a little bit, gather yourselves, take a couple of deep breaths. Refocus the group. Stingers got a little unfortunate there because that ball did go off Brandon Rattray's shoulder, I'm being told. But again, no challenge system, no instant replay system. So our team in red, the referees didn't catch that one. So Ramblers are continue with a little bit of good fortune, score the point, and then they score another point to get this game back to 13 all. Here we go. Business end of this fifth set tiebreaker. Which team will remain undefeated? Will it be the Ramblers or the Stingers? Brandon Rattray now. His jump serve attempt. Strong cross court ace on Paul Clark. Wow, Brandon Rattray just with the well-timed ace to give the Ramblers their first opportunity at match point. Can he repeat it? He does! A back-to-back service aces for Brandon Rattray. Wow. Huge back-to-back service aces by Brandon Rattray to void off and stay away from the reverse sweep. The Stingers are in disbelief, looking to the crowd to see if it was in or out. Wow, the Ramblers just pulled a rabbit out of their hat to win that match in 5. What a match. Drama filled everywhere. Whew. Las Vegas Ramblers coming back, winning the first 2 sets, losing the next 2, and then finally winning set number 5, 15-13. Wow, I am exhausted, as is everyone else in this gym. That was one highly contested, intense match. We are going to get our hands on the player of the game and come back to you in about 2 minutes for that interview with today's player of the game. Las Vegas Ramblers remaining undefeated in the National Volleyball Association, and we will come right back with that player of the game interview. Ladies and gentlemen, back with the player of the match, Brandon Rattray of the Las Vegas Ramblers. Brandon, after that 5-set match you guys just went, how's the team feel right now about that victory?
Man, we're fired up. My voice is shot. Can't really talk much, but yeah, team's fired up. That was great for us. Coming out here, first game, 5-set win, that was huge.
Yeah, you guys started out the match really well. You were up 2-0, and then the Stingers kind of fought their way back, won the next 2. What was the mood of the team going into game number 5?
It was just who wants it more, and we were saying on the sideline, we got to be dogs, we got to fight, and if we want it more, we'll get it. And it was a bummer we kind of dropped off our pace in the 3rd and 4th set, but we had a nice talk before the 5th set, and everyone got fired up, and that's exactly what we needed. And in the 5th, there was a huge block. That was just a turning point for us, and we really went from there. It was pretty sweet.
I remember the block. It was you got the hit, ball went out of bounds. Then you go back-to-back service aces to win the match.
Yeah.
So just if you could really quickly elaborate on what's your mindset and approach going into it's match point. You just got an ace. What are you trying to do?
Win the game, man. I'm trying to win the game. And I go back there, and I even told a couple of my buddies, like, I'm not just gonna keep this ball in to keep the ball alive. Like, I'm gonna go. I'm trying to hit this ball to win the game, and just confidence. And the first ace was great. Second one was just icing on the cake, and it was great. It's good feel.
Awesome way to get that victory. So now you guys, as the Ramblers, you're 4-0. You're undefeated. Mm-hmm. You're done for the day. You got a little bit of free time. What's on the calendar for the rest of the day?
Relax and recover. I heard there's a pool here at the hotel. The pool is kind of my thing. So hopefully I can get in there, get some recovery swimming going, maybe some breath work. Just relax and hanging out with the boys. We got a great group of guys here. Everyone just really gets along off the court really well, and it's really cool just being a part of a group like this. The Ramblers, incredible team, incredible group of guys.
Great stuff. Well, good luck, and Brandon Rattray, MVP of that match, Las Vegas Ramblers. We're going to get him over to the pool, and we're going to take a quick break and get us ready for our next match. So hang around, and we'll be back in about 15 to 20 minutes with Southern Exposure versus the Tyrants.